Don't scroll just yet. This might be exactly what you need to hear today. Is hygge still a thing? You know, the Danish idea of cozy togetherness, candles, wool socks, and hot chocolate. A few years ago, it was everywhere. Books, mugs, lifestyle blogs. It was called the secret to happy living. Reporters flew to Denmark hoping to bottle it. Happiness the Danish way. And sure, it had a moment. But last time I walked past the fancy design store in my neighborhood, the hygge branded candles were sitting in the clearance bin. Maybe because we've moved on. Because for 4 years in a row, Finland, my home country, has topped the World Happiness Report, leaving Denmark behind. Denmark, in the latest edition, dropped to third, right after Iceland. The gap between them and us growing. And what's Finland's version of hygge? Well, we call it kalsarikninit, or as it roughly translates, pants drunk. Yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. Drinking alone in your underwear. If that's the secret to a happy life, maybe let's just keep it a secret. Here's the thing. No one is more skeptical about Finland's happiness than Finns themselves. We're not exactly joy evangelists. Smiles don't come easy. Enthusiasm isn't our thing. We're used to being praised for our education system, which, by the way, isn't quite what it used to be. Our low corruption's hopefully true. Or our eco-friendly credentials and me. But happiest people on earth, please. A few years ago, a Finnish government official was introduced at an international conference as the representative of the happiest country in the world. He paused, looked around, and said, "If that's true, I'd hate to see the other nations. The truth is Finland has always had, let's call it, a complicated relationship with public perception. Back in 1993, I had just moved to New York. 60 Minutes ran a segment on Finland that opened with this. This is not a national day of mourning. This is just how Finns look. Brooding, private, deeply in touch with no one but themselves. The shyest people on earth. Depressed, and proud of it. And honestly, not much has changed since then. If happiness were measured by the number of smiles in a day, we'd be among the world's most miserable people. But here's the kicker, that's not what the World Happiness Report measures. It doesn't care how much you laugh or how cheerful your Instagram looks. It asks you this, on a scale of 0 to 10, how close is your life to the best possible life you can imagine? That's the formula. No dancing, no singing, no joy required. So when Finns score high, it's not because we're elated. It's because our expectations are, well, pretty modest. In a way, we've built lives that match what we reasonably hope for. Not extravagance, not excess, just enough. Compared to many countries, Finland's material conditions are great. Low poverty, low homelessness, free world-class education, universal healthcare, long-paid parental leave. Experts call these structural advantages. They form the base for what the report calls a good life. But that's only half the story. The other half, it's cultural. In the Nordic world, we're shaped by what's known as the law of Janti, an unspoken code that whispers, "You're naushal. Don't think you're better than us. Don't brag, don't shine too bright." It sounds a bit harsh, but it keeps our aspirations in check. Unlike in the US, where success often means more, bigger, louder, Nordic culture values modesty, simplicity, contentment, and that shows in our survey answers. The ladder to the best possible life isn't that tall here. The first rung is already pretty high. The steps, close together. So it's not that we dream less, it's that we dream smaller. Which brings us back to the question, is that happies? Maybe. Maybe not. Finns still live in tiny apartments. We earn modest incomes. We pay high taxes, deal with brutal winters, and still haven't made it to the World Cup. We're happy. Statistically, at least. Some would say it's cultural. That if you had to pick one word to define Nordic contentment, it's not hygge. It's not kalsarikninit. It's lagom, Swedish word meaning just the right amount. Not too much. Not too little. Just enough. Lagom captures the Nordic recipe, modest expectations, satisfaction with what you have, and no complaints as long as life is stable. In a world obsessed with more, we're content with enough. But again, is that really happiness? Should American parents stop telling their kids for the stars and instead say, "One day, sweet Riley, you can be president of the neighborhood association"? I don't know. If that's happiness, I might pass. To me, happiness is joy. It's lar. It's meaningful connection with people around me. It's smiles. It's neighbors chatting on the sidewalk. And that's why, despite my Finnish roots, I've stayed in the US here. People smile more. They laugh louder. And yes, they actually talk to each other. And that, in its own way, makes me happy.